to education issues now, and thousands of postgraduate certificates in education students are financially stranded.
The National Student Financial Aid Scheme states on its website that as of 2021, it will no longer provide funding for postgraduate courses. But for these students, finding out that they too won't get support has come as a complete shock. Here's Monique Mortlock with that story.
Up until March this year, Yolanda Marinene thought NSFAS would be funding her postgraduate certificate in education course at the University of the Western Cape. She even checked with NSFAS. But after registering, she discovered NSFAS will no longer be covering her 75,000 rand studies and accommodation fees.
We received no communication from NSFAS whatsoever. I read a circular that they released. They spoke about legacy degrees. It just didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense. How can the Department of Higher Education choose to defund education programs?
Marinene isn't the only one worrying about how they'll get through this year without money for necessary items like study materials and food.
Most of us are from the very disadvantaged backgrounds, and now we are affected because we are trying to study, but now we are thinking about enough funding. We are thinking about 70,000, but we are pushed up because at the end of the day, we proud.
An online petition has been set up calling for the reinstitution of funding for PGCE students.
My biggest hope at this point is that the university, like our neighbor university, University of the Western of Cape Town, to at least source funds for PGCE students for this year.
UWC says it will provide assistance where it can. New applications have been opened for honours student funding for 2021 for full-time or part-time students in financial need. The University of Cape Town says it's unable to assist first-time postgrad students, but it's trying to source sponsorship. 80 PGCE students at Stellenbosch University are affected, and the institution says since the announcement was made after the academic year had started, it wasn't possible to direct these students to alternative funding sources. Monique Mortlock, Cape Town.
Well, as we continue looking at the issues with NSFAS, of course, we are trying to get reaction. ENTA are asking for inquiries from NSFAS about the situation. The moment we get a response, of course, we'll bring that to you here on the show.